Hello everyone. So today we will be doing lab 1 and let me share my screen. Okay. So before that, let me walk you through the blackboard. So remember this will be your main section 003 and this is where all the information about the lab you will find. Okay? So for 212 section, for the students of the lab section 212, you have to click on this, and here you will find my syllabus. Under course content, once you get on to this section, you will under course content you will find my name with the section number 212. Click on that, and here you will find my syllabus, the WebEx link to attend the classes, and during my first lab, during our first lab, I got many emails from students saying that they were not able to find the WebEx link. So this is where you will find the WebEx link. Okay, so you can just click on that link and it will take you to WebEx, and from there you can just join the meeting. Okay, and next is templates. This is nothing but, this is not your assignment link. Okay, remember that this is just a template, like it will be like a format. I'll show you what that is. So it is like a format where you will have, you can follow it or you can do your own format of the assignment. Okay, and next is the video. So I will be uploading all the videos, all the lab recorded videos here. Okay, and this is pretty much about your blackboard lab section. So coming back, this is your main section where you will also find some extra materials. For example, this is where you will find all the lab details. This is for the, one second. So this is, here you will find the lab instructor's contact information. So according to your section, according to your lab section, you will have your instructor's name. Okay, you can also find instructor's email ID here. So if you have any questions regarding your labs, you have to email your respective sections. You have to email your respective lab instructors. So this is where you will find their email ID. Okay, and next is GMP link. I hope you would have already installed the GMP. So, but still, this is the link to download GMP. Once you click on that link, if you click on the link, it will take you to TAMUCC official website where you can download GMP Pro for Windows and as well as Mac. So once you download this and install, there is also a video with no sound. So this was recorded by me, and there is no sound for this video. Okay, so this video will walk you through how to install the GMP, but the one thing which the video is lacking is that it doesn't show, I did not show how to install or open the license file. So to do that, you can contact IT. So just take your laptop or computer with along with you. So you would probably find TAMUCC contact. Okay, so this is their contact. You can just call them. They will tell you where they are located. So once you reach to them, they will just install it. Like it will take hardly 5 minutes. Okay, and this is about your GMP. There is also a, There is also instructions given to install the GMP. You can also go through that. So once that is done, once you have your GMP in your computer or laptops, suppose if you do not have a computer which is not compatible with GMP Pro, and I am not sure whether you can install GMP Pro in your iPad. I don't think so you can install, and also this will not work on Chromebooks. So for those students, I would recommend you to use the university computers which is in CI, or you can also find university computers in CCH. Okay, and you don't have to install or download GMP in those computers. It's already been installed. So you just have to go and sit and open GMP. Okay, and next is lab manuals. So this is where the lab manuals of all the labs are located. And next is upload lab assignments. So for my section, for the section 212, I repeat, for the section 212, attendance is not mandatory, and working in groups is also not mandatory. It is totally up to you. Okay, you can also submit your individual assignments. Fine. This is only for section 212. For other section students, I am not sure what your lab instructor is following. Okay. So next is about upload lab assignments. So once you click on that link, you will find assignment 1. And remember, you have to follow these questions. In lab manuals, the questions might not be completely defined. So you have to follow the questions which is mentioned here. Right? Next is recorded labs. So you will find the recorded labs by me and other lab instructors in this section in recorded labs. So now next is datasets. So datasets are nothing but these are the files where we can open in the GMP software. So datasets are the files for the GMP software. Like we open docs files in the Word or PDF files in the PDF viewer. So likewise, we have data sets which we open in the GMP. Okay, so since we are using GMP, you have to click on this. So you will find all the files which is required. So throughout this semester, you will be using only one uh, small town GMP file. So this is the only one file which you will be using to complete your assignments throughout the semester. Okay, and yeah, this is all about your Blackboard. Now let us go through chapter 1. Okay, so in chapter 1 we will be learning about how to open and save file. Okay, opening file and saving the files. And next we will be learning about types of data. And next we will be learning about random samples. This is nothing but how to create a subset using the main file. Okay, so these are the three main things which we will be doing in lab 1. And here is your assignment questions. So in all the lab manuals from lab 1 to lab 10, so the questions which is mentioned under team assignment will be your assignment questions. I'm sure you would know that. Okay, so what I will do is I will just give you an hint on how to do your assignments. Okay, so let's open GMP first. Go to start menu, just click on GMP, you will be done. Or else you can also find the GMP in the desktop. Now, you have to close all the windows which pops up except this window. You should not close the GMP home window, except that whichever window pops up, you have to close it. And one more thing is, you will also find uh, a small window which says you have to register for GMP, all those things. So you can just close that. Do not register. Registration for GMP is not required. Okay. Next, we open this. Okay. So now we need to open the file. So we will learn how to open the file. So to open a GMP file, you have to click on File and Open. Okay. So you will not find anything here because you do not have a dataset file, right? Remember, I told you the files which we can open in GMP is called dataset. So where will you find the dataset files? You will be finding the dataset files in the Blackboard. Blackboard, your main section, and there you will have to go to labs. So here you will find datasets. And now click on dataset GMP, and which is the file required to do your or to complete your assignment? Small town GMP. Okay, you just have to click on that. So once you click on that, here as you can see, it is downloading. You will definitely find this file in the download section. So now since the download is completed, let me close that and get back to GMP. Now go to Files, click on Open, and this is where you will find the dataset. So click on Small Town and click on Open, or just double click on the file. This is your Small Town dataset. Okay. Now next thing is to know how to save the file. So before I get into that step, let us create a subset. Now why do we need the subset? Because as you can see here, we have a large number of data sets, right? So to draw or to plot the graph or to do computations using this large data set is a tedious task. And this is the reason we create a subset. So you must have learned in your lecture section about sample. So that is nothing but you would select some of the data from the population and call that as sample. So you will work on that sample and conclude your results, right? So this is what we will be doing in JMP. Okay, so go to File, so go to Tables. So to create a subset, go to Tables and click on Subset. Tables, Subset. Okay, now do not change anything here except the sampling size. Okay, you should change only the sample size. Okay, now what will be the sample size? That depends on your assignment question. So let us go back to your assignment part, upload lab assignments and assignment 1. So this is where your assignment questions will also be mentioned uh, other than the lab manual. So here they have mentioned that your sample size must be between 126 to 140. So you have to pick a number between that range. So it can be any number. It need not be the number which I enter now. So it can be any number between this range. Now get back to the problem. You have to change only the sample size, right? So let me enter it as 130. So your sample size can be different. And now click on OK. So once you click on OK, there will be one more data file similar to this file. Okay, so this is the file which is very important. This is the file which is very important. This is called as subset of small town. So once you create a subset, the file will rename itself to subset of small town. This has to be done in your GMP. Okay, now if you are working on your laptops, on your personal computers, you don't have to save it in an external drive. If you are using university computers, and then you would have to bring a pen drive, or you can just upload the same file, download it and upload it in your OneDrive or maybe cloud, whatever is convenient for you. So if you download this in your university computer, then you will have to work on the same computer when you go there next time. So you might not be sure which computer you would have used in the previous week. So for that, if you are working on the university computers, then you have to download it in the OneDrive, or maybe you can use your USB drive to save it. Okay. Next, so we saw how to open a file and how to create a subset. Now next thing is to know how to save the data set, right? So how do we save this? Go to File, click on Save, or if you want to rename the file, click on Save As. So let me click on Save. This will take you to your C drive or maybe documents, desktop, anything. So here if you want to rename it, you can, or else you can just keep it and then click on Save. So this file is saved now. Now I will ask you one question. So now if you can see, I have only 130 data points. Okay, so when I say sample size, it means you will have 130 samples. So 130 is the sample number. So the number of samples which you have chosen from population is 130. So your sample size can be anything between the range which is specified in your assignment question. So once you have created the subset, next thing is this samples randomly chosen? So GMP software, if you create a subset, it will choose these samples randomly. Always the samples will be chosen randomly. Okay, this is very important. Remember, samples are chosen randomly in GMP software also. I'm emphasizing on this because there is an assignment question which requires you to answer this. Okay. Now, next thing is we know how to open a file, how to create a subset, how to save this file. So next thing is, do we have to use the same file in our next lab? Yes, you will be using the same file in all your labs, in all the assignments. So throughout the semester, this is the only file you will be working with. And that is why I told you to save this file. Okay, so next thing, let's go to your assignment question. So first thing is we need to open a file. This is done. We have to create a sample or a subset. We did that also. And third is you need to categorize the variables whichever there in your GMP. Okay, so what do I mean by variables? Here, this heading, the ID, sex, age, height, weight, all these words All these terms are called as variables. So the first heading in your data set is called as variables. Now you have to create a table where you would have to categorize these variables into 3 columns. You should know the type of data. So remember, data types are of 2 types, mainly categorized into 2: numeric into 2, which is quantitative and qualitative. Okay, and also you should also mention whether it belongs to continuous or discrete. Along with that, you should also specify the level of measurement. So this will be your table. This will be your table, contents of your table. Okay, now let us see how to do that. So I'm not going to answer the questions, I'm just going to tell you how to create a table in a Word. Fine. So answering is your job. Okay, for this I will have to go to okay. So I have uploaded those templates in a lab section. So you will be finding it under course content, my section, and here templates, assignment 1. This is like a Word document. So you have to submit your assignment in a Word document. You should not submit the GMP files. Anything related to GMP files, you should not upload that in your Blackboard. You have to work in the GMP and you have to answer using the Word file. Okay, so this is the format which I would suggest you to use. So you can just download it and you can edit it. You have to write your name, date, and you have to write your section name. Okay. You would have to write your lab section. So in my case, in my section, it will be like 212. This will be your lab section, and you have to write your TA name. Please do write this because when you submit your assignment, it will not be categorized. Okay, it will not be divided under, or it will not be uploaded under your lab instructors section. So it will all be combined. So we need to identify our students. For that, you would have to write your respective TA name. And once you do that, we will start answering the assignment questions. So first thing is we did open the GMP file. You can just write that. And second question is we created a subset of sample size what? You created a sample size and you have to write your sample size number in that blank. So once you do that, I think this is actually a second problem. Second. Okay. And creating a table is your third question. So here remember, this is how the table will look like. You have to you have to write all the variables which is there in your small town GMP, and then you have to know the GMP label. I will tell you and I will show you how to find that, and type of data. So remember I told you that type of data is of 2 types, qualitative and quantitative, and it is also subdivided into continuous and discrete. Fine. You have to write both things. You have to write whether it is categorical and also numeric or discrete. And next is level of measurement. You have to mention which variable belongs to which level of measurement. Is it ordinal, nominal, ratio, or interval? You have to write all these details. So once you finish these two details, so you will find answer for this in your textbook or in your lecture notes. Okay. So once you finish these two columns, type of data and level of measurement, to answer this, the GMP label, go back to your subset. Go back to your subset. Okay. Now, if I want to know the GMP label of ID variable, click on that or double click. Okay, you can double click or right click on the variable name, and you will have an option called as column info. Column info, click on that, and a small window pops up which will tell you the data type, which is numeric continuous. So this will be your GMP label. So go back to your Word file and type it as numeric continuous. Okay, type of data, you have to take that from your textbook or lecture notes. And same thing with your level of measurement. Okay, this will be there in your textbook or lecture notes, and in this way you have to fill all the columns here. So once you are done filling, next you have to go to the fourth problem. So what is your fourth question? So your fourth problem is, discuss if the sample that you obtained is likely to be representative of the whole population or not. So if you think the sample can represent your whole population, then you have to say yes. Yes, it represents the entire population because, I don't know, you have to answer that. Okay, so next is, if your answer is no, then you have to say no, and it does not represent the entire population, because you have to give the reason for that also. So normally what students does is, if they think that they don't have to write a reason, then they will say just no, and then they will submit the assignment. So you have to write a reason for both. Even if you say yes or no, you have to write a reason for that. So once you're done with the fourth question, fifth one is just summarizing the whole lab. Okay, you have to write in a paragraph or maybe in a point wise. You have to write whatever you have learned in the particular lab. Okay, so once you are done with this, you can just save this file, and then go back to your Blackboard, click on the link, and here you will find option called as browse local file. So if you click on that, it will take you to your PC, and you from there you can just select your assignment document wherever you have saved it, and then hit on the submit button. So, and that's it, you will be done, so that your assignment 1 will be uploaded. So this is all about your lab 1, and about the blackboard.